Oh, minus Fox Ryan. So I get Nine Fox. Oh, minus Fox Ryan. Oh, minus Fox Ryan. So I get Nine Fox. I've noticed I haven't really been doing my intro a lot. But my last one was a very long video that I had to break up into 2 parts because of editing and all this stuff. Because of like copyright hits and all that stuff. But I wanted to do like kind of more of like a standardish review, and I even got like kind of talking points. I don't know. I was thinking like, should I make like a whole edit thing with a little character? I'm like, I have no idea how. Like, there's a reason why I tried to make an icon for like me drawn, like, and it's looked multiple different ways, multiple different times. I can't figure out a specific one for me on that, so I don't know how I'm gonna ever do that. But I wanted to make a quick kind of review, like at least talking about like the first 4 episodes, specifically going down through things of characters, some of the storylines. I'm pretty sure I don't have all of them still, but the storylines, some of the songs, and then like the overarching story. Because this show, like, it turns out we're already halfway through the season. There's only 8 episodes in this, so that kind of sucks. And also kind of sucks that, like, especially because I guess some people have been complaining, like, saying, like, this show feels rushed compared to Hell of a Boss. And it's like, yeah, they have 8 episodes to get, like, majority of this through. But anyways, I'm going to go through characters first, and then we're going to go into different things. Charlie. One problem I did have, well, kind of had a problem. A problem I did have with this, when I heard that they were redesigning and Charlie's in this outfit, I kind of saw that outfit and I immediately kind of went like, what was it? It was this picture right here. Because when I saw this design, I was like, she obviously looks happy and stuff like that, but at least suit-wise, it, for me, read more business. Like, more businessy. I was like, oh no, are they going to try to make her, like, more serious or something like that? Like, they're not going to... But no, they surprisingly actually kept her where she's more or less like how she was in the pilot. She's very happy-go-lucky. She's very Disney princess-coded. And voice-wise, I don't think that's the same voice actress, but also at that point, like, I think that kind of just shows the amount, like, I guess kind of the skill behind the voice actress, I guess, because, like, I couldn't tell it was a different voice actor. So I'd say that's a pretty good sign that, like, you know, voice actress-wise, it was good. I liked Charlie's whole thing, especially now with, because apparently I haven't watched their video on it, but I kind of don't want their being whatever to affect mine, but not overly sarcastic productions, it's the one guy who also reviews cartoons, but he edits his channel. Oh, right here, Sarcastic Chorus. Literally has a video that says, like, how to ruin your premise in the first 2 minutes. And I'm like, I feel like that's an over-exaggeration because I'm going to go ahead and assume they're talking about, like, you know, the hotel, saying, like, the hotel doesn't matter because heaven's not going to accept it. Adam says, already said in the beginning, first episode, screw it, that's not going to happen. I don't think that's necessarily the case, especially because, like, it's the idea that, like, Charlie's still gonna try to redeem them, and she's hoping there's a chance that, you know, they'll still be able to redeem and go to heaven. Then she's gonna try and prove them wrong. And even then, like, we don't know how the rest of heaven is. We don't know how the people of heaven are, which it will be, I think, interesting to see later on. But Charlie, I think, overall, is in the official release, is done pretty well. Like, I think voice actors wise, design wise, still great. I'm trying to, because they did have, like, oh, that's something else. Why are you there? But yeah, like, design wise, not bad. I kind of started liking this design a lot, especially like the reddish eyes. I think Charlie was done actually really well. I really enjoyed Charlie. Let's see, next character. I'm just going to go down the list of different characters just so I can get through it. Vaggie, I kind of said in my last video, I like her. She's alright. The outfit makes sense. And even, like, the redesigns also make sense, too. The idea that from the pilot to now, it's become more official. So, now Vaggie has a uniform. Now Charlie has, her manager, I guess, outfit. Husk has pants. It matches. It fits. It works. That being, and so that Vaggie, again, I like what they're hinting at with stuff like somewhat military-like. Again, I'm really going ahead with the idea that she's probably a fallen angel or some kind. It wouldn't surprise me. Hell, another thing that might actually hint at that is that she's, I'm trying to think of, if there's really more really humanoid demons other than Charlie. Because each of them because each demon, at least when they die, or come back as a demon, as human or whatever, they have a gimmick. Husk, mimics his gambling thing with the hearts and stuff like that. But he's like a cat angel thing, chimera thing. Alastor has the deer horns, is more deer-like. Cyclops, spider. Vaggie doesn't really have. I've heard of moth, but nothing really of her screams moth to me. Vaggie, I think, most likely is is probably like an angel. But then I also heard, I guess, slightly speaking, this girl's also humanoid. Maybe. And then I've also heard that, maybe she's the daughter of this lady. Which I don't know. Also, I've come to like Velvet. Yeah. So Vaggie, not much to say. I think I've said it before. My only issue really is a little bit with the voice acting. And that's mostly because whenever Vaggie is angry, it never really sounds like she's angry. It sounds like more she's like a monotone side thing. Which I guess if she's supposed to be military-like and suppress your emotions, I guess that kind of makes sense. But it is very different from the pilot where, she's cursing in Spanish and it sounds angrier, other than kind of there's a plateau of emotion in her voice a little bit, which is kind of my issue. Angel, you know what? We'll get back to Angel. Nifty's great. Apparently some people thought she was a kid. You thought a kid died and went to hell. All right. Whatever you want, but no, she's not. She's an adult, and she's comedic relief, but also a dark comedic relief, which is kind of great. She'll her and Moxie, I feel like her and Millie could both go for whenever they go. She's if Millie was in psycho mode all the time. If she was in murder kill mode all the time. That's what this girl is. She likes pain. She likes stabbing shit. She likes torturing mom bugs in front of their baby bugs to scar them for life. Nifty's overall fun character. And I also do feel eventually she might pull somehow I still pull the Owl House in this. She might pull a King, and we're gonna find out she has a very, very terrible past, and we'll probably go in and something like that. I'm sure she'll have something that probably heartbreaks, if anything. I don't know. Also, to round back to Charlie a little bit, Charlie is very much the ray of sunshine, stuff like that. But I also do love when you see her, because you see this happen multiple times, where she starts getting angry, and you see her transformation. I love, just to come back to Charlie, because I want to say it before I get to Alastor and everyone else, because, that is one thing I kind of miss. And Charlie, I like Charlie's character. I love the Rays of Sunshine. I love those characters. But I love this, too, because go back to my first video on, the pilot of Hazbin Hotel. I'm pretty sure I brought up, and I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was a theory. I can't remember exactly. But I'm pretty sure I brought it up. And I'm sure, maybe episode 8 we might see it when Charlie goes apeshit. When she just releases this demon that she's been holding back this entire time. Because I love how they're slowly building it up. They're building it. Every time something bad happens, whether it be when she tries to protect Angel to here and all this stuff, where you see that demap stuff, and I feel like when that happens, we're gonna see some shit, and I feel like Alastor's definitely gonna. I feel like Alastor himself might get scared, maybe. Like, I mean, that might be the one time we might see Alastor frown, especially if Charlie goes against Alastor with that. Like, if she tries to tell him something, I don't know. I feel it. But yeah, well, we'll get to Al in a minute. But yeah, Charlie, I like that stuff. Like, I love, and I'll get to a little bit about her stuff when we talk about overarching story, because there is there's this season story, and then there's a big overarching story that's happening. So I'm leaving Al kind of for last. Husk, I love Husk. I love Husk a lot. Like, I didn't need him to be an overlord, but I like his story of it, where he was an overlord, and he had a problem with gambling, and he pretty much gambled his life into service of Alastor. I like that kind of idea that he was a top demon. He was probably one of the strongest, and because he screwed up, because he made a very bad deal, he's now like in service to Alastor. Like, he's now, and the thing is, like, I don't know how the algorithm goes. I'm gonna use Pointy Hats, the D&D guys, thing. They're interns. Husk is Alastor's unpaid intern. And it's kind of cool seeing, like, how, like, pretty much he was on top of the world and he dropped so low. And, like, I think that's one of the reasons why I think Loser also is a pretty damn good song, because of showing, like, how, like, these two are pretty much in the exact same boat. Both of them are interns to some very shitty demons. Al, we just kind of like, because, you know, Al's on the good guy side a little bit. But even then, like, he's a character I feel like, if we flip the script and we find out, like, he's, like, the true villain in the end, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, it wouldn't surprise me in the least, and I'll get kind of into that in the overarching story a bit, but it wouldn't surprise me in that sense. But yeah, Husk I really love, especially when he's such a straight shooter. He said he's seen all this shit, and I don't know, he has, like, I feel like that older, especially with his voice, Keith David, like that, like, he has that voice where you just feel like one straight shooter, and also he's someone who could talk, like, again, he talks to Abe, like, dude, I just want to know who you are. I don't give a shit about whatever fake persona, like, you're trying to give or whatever. You're going to be way happier if you just be yourself. Like, I love Husk. I love Husk a lot. Like, Charlie is great because, you know, happy-go-lucky, so that. Husk is, like, I would say even, like, kind of a similar-esque character to Charlie. But instead of, like, saying, like, you know, okay, yeah, like, he probably doesn't believe in any of this shit, but he will still say, like, look, we're in hell, we're all screwed, stop pretending, just try to be yourself, try to have fun, I guess, while you can. And I like that. I like Husk a lot for that. Now we have Angel and Alastor, and I'll bring up Alastor last, only because, not only because I like him a lot. Even then, I really love Husk. I think Husk might actually be rivaling Alastor a bit in my favorite here. But, Angel is really good, and the voice actor, I think, really does pull it off. Really does pull off his voice. And again, like, if you're used to the original voice actor and listen to, like, the Honeycast streams and all that stuff, you could tell, like, yeah, the voice is slightly different from the original Angel Dust voice, from Michael Kovac's voice. That being said, you get used to it, and, like, the voice actor for him has really good range, and I wouldn't say it's not good. Like, I would say, like, it's pretty great, especially later on and stuff like that. And, like, the whole thing of, another thing that I like about this too, because it gets a little bit of, like, some of the story thing with the overlords, I like how both Husk and Alastor are kind of, Husk and Alastor, not really nifty, but Husk and Alastor kind of really show how this internship works with overlords a bit. where like they have to do what they say. They're under contract. Their soul belongs to them. And that's, and like it shows like, it's not a good life. It is a shitty life. Like, yeah, I guess Angel kind of gets perks of being famous and all this stuff, but it's still obviously a shitty life. He sings a whole song about it twice. Addict and Poison. Both of them very bad things. And then Husk, obviously, like, he's like, he's like, whatever, man. Like, just, pretty much whatever. Like, Husk, like, pretty much is just moving through, like, all right, I'm stuck doing this. I just have to do this. And hopefully something happens later. I don't know. These two, I think, are really great. And also, Husk having wings like an angel, I hope plays into stuff later. Alastor. Alastor himself, is an interesting character for, like, one, he is because we have different, that's the cool thing about at least Hazbin Hotel too. Each character has a different world-building thing, mostly. Like, Charlie is is the princess of this world. She's one of the higher, if not one of the strongest and highest ranking demons there could be, but obviously she's using her power to try to help people, in a sense. Who she is and all that stuff to try to help people. Vaggie, if she's an angel, yeah, we got that. Like, we got that, though we don't know that yet, so I'm just gonna leave it as blank for right now. We have the interns who are, like, we have a free demon, not only a free demon, a free powerful demon. We have intern demons controlled. We have a Hellborn. We have human souls stuck in internship, and then we have another human soul turned demon, but is an overlord. Nifty is in this also, which I guess you could just say maybe she's just gone crazy from how long she's been here. I don't know. We haven't gotten Nifty yet, but we do have Al, who is an overlord, which stayed gone, shows that, like, especially with, like, these different overlords, we know Al has a past. Al has a big ass past from dealing with the V's who wanted him on their team at one point. We have that he's not only that too. He's literally one of the stronger overlords who apparently has over 1 million souls under his employ. And we also see stuff like his power when fighting Pence and all that. But we also know that, and again, kind of going to the overarching story, that most likely him and Lilith have been gone for 7 years, which in some other stories, you kind of just gotta go like, okay, fine. Okay, yeah, a character just disappeared for 7 years. What's the big whoop? Like, yeah, there's probably some mystery thing going on, but what's the big whoop? Here's the also thing that you kind of really, really, really got to think about if you at least know a bit of Hazbin Hotel's lore and like Hell's lore in general, is that sinners can't leave the Pride Ring. Sinners cannot leave, let's see here. Cannot leave this. Like, yeah, it's a big-ass giant metropolis. Don't get me wrong. But this is a single spot that they are trapped in. If someone what does it mean if someone's gone missing from here? Because you would imagine someone in this city, especially if you're a big-time celebrity or big-time demon like Alastor or Lilith, what does it mean that you disappeared for 7 whole years? And like that's like, I'm trying to think at that point. It's like if Batman just disappeared in Gotham. It's like if you were stuck in Gotham and Batman just disappeared. If Bruce Wayne just disappeared and then just popped up 7 years later, it's like, where the hell did you go? You're stuck in Gotham. Where, like, you can't leave this place. Where did you go? Like, I don't know if like again, part of the overarching story bit is obviously Alastor and Lilith are somehow tied together in some way. And I'm 100% sure whatever that tied together is also the reason why Alastor is helping Charlie. Like, I don't really 100% think, like, Alastor is, like, just for the laughs, even though it could be the case. I don't feel like that is. I feel like it is hinting at that Charlie, like, one big twist I could kind of see probably happening is that Alastor had to make a deal with Lilith. Not so much of Lilith becoming in his service, but Alastor becoming in her service for something. Or, like, whether it be that Alastor made a deal for the soul, or whether it be Lilith made a deal of, like, Alastor was in a bind and Lilith gave him a deal. And the thing is, like, you have to protect my daughter or help my daughter. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case, and that honestly would be kind of interesting too, especially for Alastor, who does seem to do all this for a selfish reason, and he's pretty much, in a way, Charlie's, like, godmother in a sense, like, fairy godmother, where he's the one who's doing all this like, if anything, Alastor trying to make a deal with Charlie in the pilot could be a way of him trying to get out of servitude. Like, an idea of, like, shake my hand, I'll make your dreams come true, but the only thing is, I won't have to now protect you, and you'll have to listen to me. That could be a way that they could use Alastor to like, screw with this. Also, just for all characters in like a whole thing, what I really love about demons is that there's a base form of a demon, but then there's always, like, a transformed state. I'm not sure if, like, the transformed state connects to how powerful they are, but, like, I love, like, you see Alastor here transforming this lanky, like, sewed together. If anything, it's probably like if, like, he was like, what is it, taxidermied, like, kind of like thing, which kind of ties in with, like, him being him with the whole deer stuff. But yeah, like, he's like, I like that whole thing where you can tie in, like, you can have, like, they have each demon, what the hell, can have their own transformation. I like that a lot. Whether, again, like, it be Alastor or Charlie, like, and imagine how cool that would be if like, again, we even see at one point, like, when Angel has to make Charlie leave, and you see his eyes, all his, like, eyes start glowing, and, like, you see him get angry, like, he has a slight transformation as well. And, like, imagine how cool it would be if, like, you see Vaggy's transformation, and you see, like, angel wings pop up behind her or something. Like, I even kind of brought up, like, with certain things. Well, okay. Well, that's at least the main cast for these guys. Like, Alastor definitely has more behind his eyes on that, and I feel like there is going to obviously be a major connection between these two. Because that's the thing, I don't think we'll see something like, oh yeah, Alastor killed Lilith. Like, I don't think that would happen. I don't think Al would also, I don't think Lilith would make a deal with Alastor of her being in his servitude, but I could see, I could see Alastor making a deal with Lilith if, like, his power was starting or something along those lines. So, there's something there. Not to mention, like, Charlie also, they hint at in the very beginning that Lilith helped people with her songs.
Heaven made a truly
Help people with her songs, and, like, Charlie being someone who sings a lot, I really do feel like
created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity, only the cruel and the wicked. Ashamed, Lucifer lost his will to dream, but Lilith thrived, empowering demonkind with her voice and her songs, and as the numbers of hell.
Yeah, so, like, I feel like that's gonna tie into something about the music. I think will tie into something. Also, another thing is with them showing stuff like Lilith was human. I don't think Lilith could go to another ring of hell. I think she is trapped just like everyone else. Alright, but that's the main characters. Let's go into bad guys. Angels. Again, I feel like these horn bits that they have and all that are probably just head dressing. I don't think that's their actual thing. I don't think that's their actual, like, heads. I think that's probably, like, head ornaments or something like that. Maybe it ties in with their halos. I don't know. But I feel like these are not that. And also, again, like, I'm going to ahead and assume not all of heaven is like this. We don't know how heaven is. We don't know how the people in heaven are. We just know Adam as well as these girls. Okay. Yeah, sorry. We just know Adam as long with these angels, that they're sadistic assholes. That they're using the they're using like the idea of like, oh yeah, like we don't give a shit. Like we're angels, we're the quote unquote good guys. Yeah, like divine, like this is pretty much giving me like the vibes of Crusades, of like the Holy Crusades, like the idea of like God has made us the divine people, so we should. Oh, it's okay if we murder. It's fine. Like, but no, like I feel like this is something else entirely, and it wouldn't surprise me if, because they never really do bring up God in this world. They just say that heaven and stuff like that did these different things. So I don't know how they're going to play that up. So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, it's like, they do, like, supernatural, or, like, how a lot of these stories go, where it's like, why are the angels kind of assholes? Because God's not actually there. Like, not in a sense of that he doesn't exist. More along the lines of, God is gone. He's disappeared. Where'd he go? I have no idea. So, yeah, and I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. Like, for right now, all we know is that the whole reason these guys are really doing this is because the people that were being suppressed, the people who they believed they had control over, can actually now hurt them. Which, you could go into a whole idea of class. The whole idea into, like, class and the rich and the poor. Like, the rich suddenly feel threatened when, like, poor people suddenly, get a bunch of money, or they suddenly, pull out the guillotines. I feel like that's very much like a big point of what this message is kind of trying to sell. Like, yeah, the 1% who are in heaven are like happy-go-lucky. Well, not say the people themselves, but like more the angels. Certain angels are like, yeah, no, they can hurt us now. We need to, like, they're trying to step into our stuff. Next thing you know, they're going to try to rebel and take over heaven. Trying to put them in their place and exterminate them all. Like, that's kind of the way this is kind of going. Also, the help with the Vaggie thing, the eyes kind of matching is with like the X's. But yeah, so I definitely, bad guy wise, these guys are they're decent for right now. And I definitely want to see how Adam and all these other characters are going to tie into stuff. Especially also Adam being like the main bad guy here, or like kind of the main bad guy, one of the main bad guys here. Yeah, I guess the main bad guy, like bad guy here, like kind of, because Alastor might actually be the true main bad guy. Adam being the original man and the original husband to Lilith. Again, it's tying that all more together. Of Charlie, Lilith, Alastor. It's like, so like you have so many, like Lilith is the linchpin in all of this. Lilith has been gone for 7 years. Alastor has been gone for 7 years. Where have they gone? No one knows. The only thing is that we do know is it had to be still within the Pride Ring unless something happened to where they were able to escape the Pride Ring, which I don't know if that's the case. We haven't seen that yet. All we know is Hellborn demons can go to other rings. The Pride Ring itself, we know that's not the case. And again, like, Lilith is the linchpin. We don't know where she is, but she's human, so she must be stuck in the Pride Ring as well. And we know Adam is the lead for killing off demons in hell. We know Alastor is connected somehow with those 7 years, and obviously Charlie's connected being her daughter, and then, we'll eventually see Lucifer also. So I'm sure when Adam and Lucifer do meet up at some point, it's going to be interesting, because Lucifer, technically speaking, was the other guy. It was the one who stole Lilith, quote unquote, stole Lilith away from Adam. So that I think will be cool to see. Hell, if anything, what happens if we find out that Lilith is actually in heaven? Hell, what do we think? What do we find out? Like, Alastor somehow made it to heaven at some point. Something like, again, the idea that they went missing for 7 years is very questionable in a place where you can't leave. So, yeah, I guess no one would notice everyone around, but I feel like the radio demon would stand out, especially with someone like Vox, who has cameras all over the city. Which I guess you could say, like, Alastor can't appear on video, so maybe that's why Vox couldn't find him. But I also feel like this was done this was done intentionally. Like, I think Vox is literally, like, Vox couldn't find him because he was nowhere around. Like, Vox has cameras everywhere, and yet this man was able to hide or disappear from this world. I think that's a big overarching thing. But another thing that I actually really like, that's kind of more world building, is the Overlords. Because obviously Charlie doesn't want, Charlie wants to save everyone. That's Charlie's whole thing. She wants to save everyone, and she wants to use her hotel to do it. That is, that is her whole thing. That is her reason for trying to redeem the sinners and all that stuff. She wants to save them. And let me just go back a little bit. She wants to save them. Overlords have another reason to care about the, to care about the extermination and all that. And it's because they gain their power from their sinners that they have contracted into them, and now a lot of them are going to be dying, and dying very quickly. Like, it's really interesting because it's really good world building, because these characters don't have to be good guys. They don't have to care about redeeming souls. If anything, that goes against what they would want. Why would they want a soul redeemed? Because why? Why would they want a soul redeemed? Because it would go against it would weaken them if more souls left their employ and went to heaven, assuming that would happen. Which, honestly, at the end of this season, I think will probably be the case. Actually, I need to bring back Angel back up. Because I meant to bring this up and I keep doing it. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Angel, another thing I really like from obviously seeing, like, how his life is, and, like, him losing, like, his whole, friendship with Husk a little bit, his friendship with Husk and all this stuff. I really love all that. Seeing the whole contract obligation, all that stuff. It's interesting to see kind of like him like that. But the thing is, I actually really love about this character, because he reminds a lot of Luna from Hell of a Boss, which she's my favorite. One of my favorites. Like, one thing I really liked in the pilot of Hell of a Boss is when Luna looks angry, and then Blitz says, like, we can't fire Luna, she's part of the family, and Luna, like, is looking at her phone book, then kind of smiles. Angel has a lot of those. He has really good scenes of those, whether it be when Pent starts living in the hotel, and also Pent is a great fun, like, joke side character too. He's great. But when Penn starts living in a hotel, and, like, they're like, our first real customer, and they're like, Angel's like, what the hell am I? He goes, well, like, someone who actually wants to get better. And, like, you see Angel kind of get sad at that. You see Angel get sad at that, like, multiple times when all of that happens. That is really cool. That's really interesting. I liked that. I like seeing that bit where like you see the crack in the facade. You see like, you know, he like Angel doesn't just come here, yeah, probably because he lives here for free, but because, and also because it's a getaway from his regular life. He does want to be redeemed. He does want to be like a better person, and I like that. Like we see that with Angel. He is a very dynamic. He's a very three-dimensional character. I feel like him and Husk, I think, probably have the most character out of this whole group. Like Alastor is a fun character, and like a lot of his thing comes from like his personality and his charming personality, and you know, him being a powerful, mysterious demon. Like it's cool, and like him being like he's not a good person. Nifty comes again from her being more of a joke, a little bit of a joke, twisted, crazy joke. Like, you know, she's ready to freaking do some BDSM, and Husky goes, "I'm out." These two, I feel like it's most three-dimensional, being, you know, demons stuck in employ, and like Husky's like, look, we're both in this shit sandwich, but at least we're in it together, kind of thing. Vaggie, I gotta see more of her story and more of her stuff. All we really know is she has a military background. And they're handsome. She's a military background. My Zozo's over there laying down. Hey, Joey. She has some type of military background. She obviously loves Charlie, and like she has those little smile moments too when like Charlie's happy-go-lucky, stuff like that. So like it feels like she is a character. Oh, calm down. She's a character who probably like sees Charlie as like a little light in her life too. I think, and plus also like the idea that you know, Charlie wants to redeem souls, and like if Vaggie's like a fallen angel, I think that's kind of interesting. That being said, like Vaggie, like that's all we kind of know of Vaggie. Charlie, we just know happy-go-lucky, stuff like that, but I feel like once we kind of see the break in that, like we're definitely going to see a lot more, because all we know is she's a very, you know, happy-go-lucky, like she's a happy character who wants to help people and wants to be a really good person. But I feel like and that's all we kind of know. I feel like obviously when she starts going angry and we see that crack in that kind of look, like whether it be with her daddy issues or all these other stuff, I feel like we're going to see, like she'll be more fleshed out, I think. And mind you, like them not knowing too much about them straight off the back of the first 4 episodes, that's fine. I'm just saying in that sense, out of all of these guys, I think Angel and Husk like have the most like character out of the main 6, which I just realized it's 6. So, you know, double number. But yeah, and then obviously world building with the Overlords again with with this. I like this faction because you have Charlie who wants to redeem souls, you have Angel who just want to kill souls, and then you have Overlords kind of in the middle where like obviously they don't want the extermination to happen, but also they don't want souls redeemed because that would mess up their own business. Like, so like it's cool. You have 3 different things. You have evil on the Angel side, good on Charlie's side, and then you have neutral with the Overlords in a sense. Well, neutral in the Overlord sense. Like these guys would want sinners to be stuck in hell forever. Also, then you also have the Voxes, the V's, where
the V's, mad that are active respectless. Well, it's cause no one could respect this.
I actually really like those.
Story group attending. Since when are overlords too scared to fight? Your long past.
The V's like Vox and all them, they're great in a sense of they're more of just a straight chaotic, where it's like, yeah, they're overlords, but they're also like the ones trying. Like this is also like a theme that's been kind of happening now, like the influencers, the, you know, the celebrity type characters, stuff like that. That's kind of what the V's obviously are, and like we've seen this before, like Borderlands. The you know, the bad guys are streamers. You have different shit like that. Like they're the more modern, quote unquote modern, or more this timely thing. Like I feel like later on in the years, like I don't know how the future will be, but like this does kind of feel like the 90s skateboarder thing where it's like, skateboarding was in everything, like, back in the 90s, early 2000s, and now, like, you watch back, like, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened then. I feel like this is gonna be kind of that, like, they're saying, like, oh yeah, you're no longer relevant anymore, old man. Like, what? What's the matter? What's the matter? Outside? You go outside? Give me a minute. Back, sorry. But, yeah, like, they're pretty much, like, the of this time characters. Especially, like, the idea of, like, the old, like, especially, it's, like, showing, like, time is changing. And also, like, I do, like, the V's also very much, I think, kind of embody a little bit of, like, the idea of, like, we need to start moving now. We need to get shit done now. Because another kind of story arc thing, obviously, is that the V's do want to go to war. They want to go to war with heaven. Which, I want to say right now, is that is, right now, is, like, like, you know what, like, there's an in and off on this sense. On one end, if they don't do something, the angels are coming back to kill them, coming to fight in 6 months. But, on the flip side of that, like, you don't, like, all you have is the head of an angel. Like, you have that, yes, an angel was killed. Like, does she kind of understand that, like, what, like, you don't know how you did, like, just for a good example, imagine if there was a shit ton of Kryptonians, Superman's people, shit ton of Kryptonians flying around shooting laser beams out of their eyes and all this shit, and they took over and they're ruling over humanity. Okay, great. And, like, now, like, humanity's subservient to Kryptonians. They find one Kryptonian, head cut off. And someone just goes, they can die! We can go to war! But mind you, they just found a body. That's it. There is nothing saying how the Kryptonian died. There's nothing, and this person just takes the head of a Kryptonian and goes, look, they can die. We can kill them. Get me a gun. What? Like, we know guns don't work on him. Are you telling me for all these, like, I don't know if the V's are trying to get the Overlords killed or something, but, like, no, I don't think you're gonna be able to kill an angel by just shooting them. Like, no. That's why, like, I don't know if the V's are just stupid. Like, it definitely feels that idea of, like, the newer generation that's trying to, like, not really learn about the past or whatever and just, we can do it, go ahead and go, and then they're gonna get their asses kicked, pretty much. Like, I want to talk about the Beekeeper, because the Beekeeper is a big sense of that. Like, I'm pretty gonna tell you right now, that's redneck John Wick. That is, the Beekeeper, that movie is redneck John Wick. I saw it like a week ago. I wanted to make a video about it, I just haven't yet, because issues. But, like, I want to bring it, and that's not in a good way. Like, redneck John Wick, that's not in a good way I'm saying that. And it's like, oh, them damn youth will never understand them with them TikToks and click, like, it is really, like, you see someone, like, in the South, in Texas, going, yeah, stick it to them new millennials. And then they're talking about Gen Z. Or whatever the hell the newest, I don't know. But, yeah, like, that's kind of like what they feel like, that personification of that, like, the new world, like, the new people, like, social media and all this stuff. Like, that's really what they kind of feel like, of capsule of, like, the time period right now. But, yeah, hold on, let me see. Did I cover everything? Let me see, because I covered the characters, I covered a bit of the overarching story. Yeah, the overarching story, the 7 things. I covered a bit about the hotel. 6 months till next extermination. Overlords killing an angel. Yeah, okay. Overlords owning souls. Angel, dust, nifty, yeah. Okay, so I've covered mostly everything on my list. The only thing I haven't covered are the songs. The songs are okay. Like, I've had to re-listen to a few of them. I still think the best one is Loser. Poison, it's okay. It's a weaker version of Addict to me. That's what Poison is. It's just a weaker version of the song Addict. So do with that info what you will. This song is okay. I like the Overlords. I like all this stuff. This was alright. Also, it looks like these two are probably in a relationship. Yeah, so there's all this bit. I don't know, like, if we're gonna see more of this. I feel like we needed more of her introduction, especially before her song, because her song kind of felt weird where it was placed. Hopefully we'll see, you know, a little bit more better stuff with that. I'll give you one more minute. But yeah, so like that song was weird where it was placed. Like I get it was Vaggy's and her song, but like I don't know, like it's like that's where people think like, are they like related in some case? I don't know. Actually, what if? Vaggy technically could be maybe a half angel. She could be a Nephilim, which would be kind of interesting. Well, is it Nephilim? Whatever the one, because there's two versions of Nephilim. There's a Nephilim, which is a human and an angel. And there's a Nephilim, which is an angel and a demon. Which, you know, don't make cry. Which, actually, that would be kind of an interesting thing if that's the case. Because if, let's say... Well, that would also make Vaggy a Hellborn, wouldn't it? Get out of here. But, like, if this girl and, like, let's say, what's this guy here, Alastor's friend, Ezekiel, or I can't remember what the hell his name was, something TL, this guy. If, let's say, that's the father, like, and these two, like, you know, had Vaggy, who could be, like, you know, because this man most likely is a fallen angel, so if your last name ends with EL, there's a really big chance you're an angel. Well, you know, story-wise, because, like, EL literally means, like, God, or of God. Handsome! Get over here! Sit! But yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if like maybe like that, which would be kind of interesting too, because you know you have an angel, you have technically angel demon hybrid here with Charlie, and then you'd also have a similar thing with Vaggy also. So like it'd be an interesting thing. It would be cool too if where Charlie more pulls from her mother's demon side of it, I guess. Vaggy pulls more from her, like, father's, like, used to be angelic side. So, yeah, that'd be an interesting little thing. But yeah, the songs are pretty fun. Stayed Gone, I think, is a really good one, especially, like, the ending right here. Especially the animation for right here is freaking great. Seeing Alastor slowly transform into his lanky form. That's kind of great. Loser, I think, is still the best one. Hell is Forever is a pretty good one too. And again, also the bad guys wise with the angels, I like the permanent smiles they pretty much always have. It's very Alastor like too. Now that I think about it, which I think might actually tie into something. Maybe it does tie into maybe the reason why Alastor and Lilith have been gone. Maybe they've been in heaven somehow. I don't know, but it actually does feel like that might actually be a tie-in, similar to how I think Vaggy's eye is supposed to be connected to, like, you know, how these angels have X's on their eyes, so say like the opposite eye. This girl has the opposite eye for them. Alastor having a permanent smile may actually be a connection also with angels who seem to always be smiling. So there's a lot you could do with character-wise of that, and I'm kind of waiting to see how it's going to play out. I'm enjoying it. I like seeing, like, again, after watching Hell of a Boss and seeing all the demons, it's cool seeing angels. It's cool seeing, like, the quote-unquote main story. A little bit of, like, this world. So, because I don't know if Hell of a Boss will be like, yeah, we're going to change the status quo of everything. I do feel like Hazbin Hotel is that one where it's like, yeah, they'll change the status quo of the world itself. And it would be cool, like, if, like, the events of Hazbin Hotel somehow affect Hell of a Boss at some point. Like, yeah, heaven's open to the public now. It's like, oh, shit. I don't know. But also, just a side note before I end this. How long have I actually been going? Yeah, okay, well, almost an hour already. Great. But one thing I actually want to bring up, too, is, like, I don't know if there is a legality kind of thing going. Because, like, I assume hellhounds that we see in this, a lot of them have, like, horns or, like, very, very slightly different from, like, characters like Luna and that. So I don't know if there's a legality thing where, yes, like, they're technically in the same universe, but they're not anymore, or it's like a vagueness kind of thing with Hell Boss and Hazbin Hotel, because I don't know how it works with Prime if if Vivzy Pop still has, like, the rights to the characters. Because, like, if I go to, like, if they went to Disney and, you know, whatever, made a show with Disney, so there's most likely a chance Disney now owns that characters and everything that has to do with that show, so you can't use it anymore. So I don't know if that's kind of the thing, and, like, we'll never, like, after these 8 episodes, if they don't do well, it's like we'll never see it again, or if Vivzy Pop will be able to continue Hazbin Hotel on her YouTube channel, which would be kind of awesome, I think. I honestly don't think it would honestly be that bad if they did do that, especially because, like, they do make some animation mess ups in this season or this bit, especially right here. It's like the background right here.
Charlie, hold on. There's just no way I could blow it.
It's like really weird how that background just like flipped super quick.
Charlie, hold on. There's just no way.
Like, it's just like
I could blow it.
It's really, really weird. But, like, that's really, like, the only big animation flummox I honestly can remember. And that's what, like, a lot of people were trying to grab onto, I think, at one point, too. But, yeah. This show is great, honestly. I think it's really fun. I'm kind of happy. I'm happy with how it's come out. And the characters are really great. All we really get for Aggie right now is that she's a really good girlfriend. But even then, that's not bad, I would say. But, yeah. It is fun. I like it. I like the premise of it. And I like, again, how they, like, world building wise, without straight up stating it, there are, like, 3 factions. Charlie, Angels, and the Overlords. And we have an Overlord on Charlie's side, supposedly, but it wouldn't surprise me if if he's a main bad guy. If Alastor becomes, like, the actual bad guy. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And it's going to be interesting to see other things. Like, I can't wait to see how Lucifer's going to play out with this. But, yeah. But tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Some of you guys are excited. I honestly think this show's pretty great. I know there's always people who hate on this show and Hell of Us and all this stuff. I don't know why, but whatever. But thanks for watching for your videos. Hopefully enjoy this. And we will. See you later. Yeah, this is great. Honestly, I need to get an updated Charlie pin so I can have her in, like, this look.